Turn on your sound. Turn on your sound. Hey, this is Brian Johnson, and welcome to my Monday night live training. It may be a bit interesting tonight. I've got 3 different feeds going on right now. So, my encouragement to you is to pull up a chair, print your notes, in case you have not already. Print your notes for sure. And this way, you actually have something to follow along with, right? So, let's go ahead and get my little contraptions all set up here, because I got a lot of little gadgets going on. What's up, Gabe? So if this is your first time, type first timer. And let's hear exactly where you are calling from. Let's get out of that one. And let's make this a bit easier. So, tonight we're going to talk about body language. And for those of you that have not had any body language information before, you are in for a treat. Because I can tell you from my personal experience that body language by far is the most profound stuff that I have come across to this point. And to be perfectly Brian with you, I've been blessed to have a significant amount of hours invested in holistic health and wellness, all the way starting since the age of 7 years old. And I can tell you that being exposed to as much stuff as I have not in my life ever found anything more powerful than body language. And with your permission, I'm going to share with you some of the tools and tactics that I have been taught along my way with you tonight, so you can start to use these in your life. So if this is your first time, just type first timer. If my feeds are kind of crazy, I apologize, because I was doing one on my computer at the same time, and we had an overload, too much stuff going on at one time. So I shut one of them off, and it looks like I should have my personal page down here and my Think Great Lose Weight page up here. And we turned off the other one. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and enjoy ourselves. So like I said, if this is your first time, just type first timer. If you're catching the replay, welcome aboard. Whatever questions you leave, if I do not get to them while I'm going through my live feed, I definitely will get back to them. So tonight's going to be all about body language. It's going to be about decoding your own body language to understand how to create amazing relationships, amazing fulfillment in your own life, how to help you in your business, how to help you in your personal relationships with your partners, with your boyfriends, girlfriends, with your wives, your husbands, whatever you have going on. Thank you. This is what it's all about. Like I said, I have not found anything that's more potent and more powerful than the information I'm going to share with you. And the information I'm going to share with you is coming from 3 different places. One of them, my coach, Mr. Robert Tennyson Stevens, is a dear brother of mine. Is super amazing. He's by far my most Jedi-ish coach that I know. Every time I go hang out with him and gets blessed to go listen and learn from him, I swear to you, he's got a spaceship out back. I just haven't found it yet to kind of give you an idea of his level of genius. And then I've got another one from military. One of my other coaches has got a deep military background. Like, I haven't been able to get a hold of the guy for about a year now to kind of give you an idea of kind of his level of military interest. And another one's from a completely different discipline. So we're kind of getting a spectrum of 3 different lenses, and what I like about them is they all blend together to create an amazing mix of amazing tools to be able to help you be the best version of yourself. And naturally, that's what you're really looking for, right? Of course. What's up, Joyce? So, hey, if you have any questions for me and you would like to connect with me on somehow, some way, or you need to get a hold of me, Jocelyn, my assistant, is on both of the feeds. You can message her. She's the fastest way to get a hold of me and get you connected with me. Welcome, Tiffany. And like I said, if this is your first time, welcome. If this is not your first time, welcome anyway. I appreciate all of you and each of you individually and collectively. If you have not shared, please do. That's the only thing I really ask of you, so that I can support more people that I would not be able to ordinarily support because I don't have access to them. So if you don't mind, please sharing. That would be the best way you could help me help more people. It's definitely not about me. It's about making a bigger impact to our brothers and sisters, and that's the only way that I will be able to exponentially do that faster is with your support. And I appreciate you. So here are the 7 things we're going to talk about tonight. And I printed up my own notes, so you know. Thank you, Mike. And for those of you that are on our email list, our notes have been sent out to you. If you're not on our email list, you can, and I highly encourage you to do so. This way you can actually get our notes, because this is going to be some seriously stiff information, and you need some stuff to follow along with. I printed them up because I needed some stuff to follow along with for that specific case. So, number one, okay? Here we go. First thing we're going to talk about is connection. We're going to talk about 7 different points, and I'm going to go through all of them real quick. I'm going to keep it to about 30 to 35 minutes tonight, and then we've been getting into the hour range, and I'm going to keep it a little bit shorter, so hopefully you got some good value out of the last sessions that I did. So, point number 1, connection. Number 2, rapport. Number 3, emotional literacy, meaning being aware of what you actually feel and understanding authentically what you feel. Whether it's fear, whether it's anger, whether it's resentment, whether it's sorrow, being accurate with your depictions of what you actually feel is super important, and which we will discuss. Number 4 is going to be sleep. Number 5 is going to be headaches. So if you have headaches and you're looking for some tools and information and wisdom, tonight I will be sharing that with you. Number 6 is foot patterns, the ones that you put your shoes on, foot patterns, all right? And then we're going to talk about number 7, which is conscious communication. Make sure you plug yourself into our Monday through Thursday trainings at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Some of you are on my personal page, which you are lucky because it's stacked, and I have to delete people to bring new people in. So don't get caught messing around on my personal page. You can definitely go to Think Great Lose Weight to connect with us, and there's an open platform, so you're completely fine. You would never have to be kicked off or never have to be deleted to let someone in, so you're good to go there. Okay. So next thing, here you go. A little bit about me so you understand where I'm coming from. Currently, I'm 39 years young. I feel better now than I did when I was in my 20s, and I know you hear a lot of people say that, and that's the actual truth for me, and a lot of it's just because of the transformations I've done in my own life. I've been 250 pounds 3 different times. I've been suicidal. I've had all kinds of crazy experiences that by the grace of God, I've been blessed to be able to make it out of alive and in one piece, because I passed my 9 lives up a long time ago. So with that in mind, just allow me to present some information to you, and hopefully if it resonates with you, awesome. If it doesn't, that's awesome too. All right. So if you're looking to have a conversation with me and you have not already, or you're really looking to fine tune your wisdom and seeing how and if and what ways we can support you both digitally, personally, and in my group coaching programs, you can use the text message 72727. You can text Think Great, all one word, and that will take you directly to my online scheduler. You can use that to connect with me and set up a call if you would like to chat. That's the fastest way to do it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is connection. Here's the first thing, all right? So, connection. Following along my notes. How would you like to be able to create almost immediate rapport and connection with people in your life? What's up, Mike Chacho? Welcome aboard, bro. So how would you like to be able to create immediate rapport and connection with people in your life? Is that of interest to you? Would that benefit you in your current life, in your job, in your career, in your personal relationships? Would that benefit you at all? If so, just comment yes. How would you like to understand how to connect best with you personally? Because guess what? Relationships are how we relate with others, really how we relate with ourselves. Because however we relate with ourselves, we're also going to have people show up in our life that are also going to validate that. So being able to understand why things are showing up and why you keep getting certain experiences is super important. What's up, El Cid? Okay. So how would you like to know, or how would you feel that knowing that every scratch, itch, pain, symptom, or emotional challenge is basically our body attempting to get our attention? How interesting is that? Because when you understand that, you're going to find our lives currently is just like living in the Matrix. That's right. There is no spoon if you've watched it. All right. Now, here's my next question for you. Do miracles exist in your life? If so, are you interested in discovering how to create them? How about predictably and consistently every time? Would that be of value to you, understanding how to create miracles consistently? I don't know about you, but for me, that's a huge value. And yes, sign me up. I'm interested. and committed to learning whatever is necessary to create miracles consistently and predictably. And with the information I'm going to share with you tonight, you'll actually be able to understand that, because what I'm going to help you do is align with scriptural laws, not Brian's opinions or theories. These are laws of Scripture that I'm going to help you with and kind of support you with along the way. Okay, so here's a very important question. The next question is, do you love yourself? Response required. Let's see where we're at. And it's ideal for you to be completely authentic with yourself, because that way you can actually make a change. If you're not authentic with yourself, you're going to have a challenge making a change. Be in your current reality, meaning just give yourself full permission to be lovingly honest, not brutally honest. So you can be brutally honest, and lovingly honest would be ideal. This way you can actually shift. All right? Understand that body language is about creating a win-win. And really only about 20% of our communication actually comes from words themselves. The rest of it comes from tonality, comes from hand movements, comes from body language. A hand movement is a mudra. Hate my guilt and worrying heart. You should love it. Love your guilt and worrying heart. You may be able to start resolving it more so. Whatever you hate, or whatever you fear, or whatever you resist, you take on. Whatever you resist, persists. So just remember that. Whatever you resist, persists. Remember that. Okay? So let's talk about this. Homeland Security actually did some pretty extensive... Hey, Stacy. Good to see you again. And congrats for being authentic. That's good. It's the best place to start, right? Okay. Homeland Security is actually one of the people who first started doing some stuff. That and AT&T. They actually started studying body language pretty heavily back in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. So let's talk about some basics so you understand. What's up, Dave? Talking about some basics, all right? So what we're going to talk about first is we're going to talk about how the body actually breaks down, all right? So if you were to draw a line right down the center of your body, ladies, you're on the left side. Gents, you're on the right. All right? So remember, your masculine side, your doing side, your taking action side is on your right side. For those of you that just shared, thank you so much. I appreciate it for you helping other people out. Your left side is your feminine side, or your receiving side. Very important. Okay? Now let's do this. Ladies, you touch your left palm. Gents, you touch your right. Okay? So your left palm is about you personally. Ladies, men, your right palm is about you personally. Okay? So whenever you have a contraction, for example, your forearm, your bicep, your face, your neck, your chest, to your torso, your hamstrings, your calf, and the bottom of your feet, it's all about you personally. So everywhere you have a scratch or an itch or a pain that shows up, wherever it shows up at will give you information on whether it's about another female, whether it's about something emotionally, whether it's about another male, or so forth and so on. Okay? So understanding, that's really one of the most important parts, because once you start understanding that, when you're driving down the road and you understand that your body is actually talking to you, life becomes very different. So much so that you can never go back, and your life will never be the same. And you will never look at another human being the same, because once you realize what is actually going on, this stuff is going on all the time. We've just been unaware of it until today. All right? So every time you have one of these or have one of these, that's information. Every time you have a stutter, that's information. And when you start to understand this stuff, it's going to make quantum level changes in how you perceive yourself and your God self, which is your emotional body that's operating through you, that's using your body as a dashboard, or as a, really for the most part, it's using your body as a communication piece, as an instrument or a device to communicate. You with me still? And naturally, you can see how important understanding this type of information and what it's going to do in your life. I can tell you that it has made huge changes in my life. It has allowed me to understand things about myself that I did not know. It It has allowed me to understand things in my past that have been still filtering. Because here's the thing. A feeling buried alive never dies. I'm going to say that again. A feeling buried alive never dies. Which means if you don't deal with something and you don't love it into its next counterpart, it's still there. It's not going away. It's not going to go away. You may suppress it and repress it. You may suppress it and repress it. Yet what happens is you're just going to push it down underneath your awareness, and it's going to show up in your external environment. It's going to show up in your relationships or your lack of relationships. It's going to show up in how you feel about yourself. It's going to show up in the people that show up in your life. All this stuff, right? So here's a couple of things. Let's talk about breathing. So right now, if you check in and you're breathing, are you breathing from your chest or are you breathing from your stomach? If you're breathing from your chest, type chest. If you're breathing from your stomach, type stomach. Let's see where you're at. Let's check in first. Because what happens is if you're breathing from your chest, that means you're in fight or flight. Perfect. That means right now you are in fight or flight. If you're breathing from your stomach, that means you're functioning in your parasympathetic nervous system, which means that you are in your thriving state. What's up, Kurt Jones? Hey, Kelly. Good job, Melissa. What's up, Stacy? Okay, that means that you're functioning in your higher state of consciousness. One of the fastest things you can do is breathe down into your stomach. It doesn't cost you anything. The only thing it costs you is just being aware of where you're breathing from. And you literally can make a shift at any point in time during your day to change it. Very important. You'll find that the things we talk about the most are air, water, food, and consciousness. So when you have an ability to focus like, okay, what could I do right now to feel better? Guess what that first thing is? It's breathing down into your stomach. This way, you can actually get more oxygen. You can shift from your survival or your reptilian brain down into your higher state of consciousness. Okay, very important. That's an easy thing you can do. So now let's talk about something else. Let's talk about recognizing a yes and no movement. So here is something very important. All right, so I'm going to take my glasses off so you can see. So if someone's talking to you and they say yes, 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 yes. That's not yes. This is yes. This is not a yes. All right? And unless you're very aware of it and you're looking for it, you're not going to understand that that's what's going on. So if someone says, hey, honey, will you marry me? Yes. This means that subconsciously they are not in alignment with you. Now, how important do you think that that would be for you to understand that? How important do you think it would be for you to understand about your own yeses? When you're communicating to yourself, how important do you think it would be for you to understand that about yourself? Because if it's not a full body yes, and it's a yes, that means it's a no. And that's not wrong. It's never wrong. It's just about being authentic with yourself so you can have the best experience possible. And naturally, that's what you're really looking for, right? So how important do you think it would be currently for you to understand that tool alone? How important do you think it would be for you to understand when your body's having a scratch or an itch or a pain or a symptom that shows up in your body? How important do you think that it would be for you to understand what this means? How many of you currently have had a pain or a symptom that has been going on for so long that it's just a part of life and you just deal with it? Maybe it's an ankle problem. Maybe it's a back problem. Maybe it's your neck. Does anybody have any challenges like that have been going on for quite some time? If so, I would invite you to consider that there's probably some unresolved emotional trauma or emotional challenges / unresolved that have not been dealt with appropriately for your emotional body. And your body is just letting you know that by the pains and the symptoms that show up in your body. With our body language series, you can actually uncover all of this stuff. You can uncover what these mean and what these mean. And when you're talking to yourself, you can uncover what your body is actually saying to you. How important do you think that it would be to be in alignment, period? Whether it's today, tomorrow, whether it's understanding things in the past, like how important do you think it would be for you to actually understand what your body's attempting to communicate to you? Itchy palms only in the evening. Itchy palm. Interesting. What's up, Veronica? So how important do you think it would be for you to actually understand these types of things? Well, you can. There's a way to do it. We'll give you an opportunity here in a minute. I've got some specials for you. Okay? And we're just getting started. Like, we haven't even gotten really through point 1 yet. Okay? So understanding this is the difference. If you ever work with me and you ever had me start doing questions with you and you were to give me a yeah or a sure, then more than likely we didn't go very much further until we got a yes. And the reason why is because if you're doing this kind of work, the only way to be able to move forward to where you're in full congruence, meaning consciously and subconsciously, is by using yeses. If you're not using yeses, there is no moving forward. Yes and sures and absolutely's, that's nothing. That does not count in conscious communication. Okay? My morning finger joint pains are gone. There you go. That's body language. Lorianne took our body language series and got rid of that stuff. So good job. Kelly, you can. So understanding that just cleaning up your communication and using yes or no communication will make a massive difference in itself. Even if you choose to not, even if you chose to not do anything else, but just start using yes or no's, you will automatically clean up your conversation with those in your life, for sure. Right? Now, we're just getting started. Here's an opportunity for you to consider. What we're doing tonight is offering you an opportunity to get involved in our body language series. And I've got a special for you. I decided to do something super special for you. And for those of you that had a conversation with me, and those of you that are enrolled in our body language series, you know our body language series is our most expensive one. It's $9.99. And I assure you that, if anything, you will get more miracles out of this class than you will anything we ever put out. Because I've seen miracle after miracle after miracle happen consistently by understanding what your body is actually trying to tell you and how fast you can actually do it. How fast you can actually resolve the emotional challenges that you may have been having for quite some time that are now consistently showing up in your relationships, or consistently showing up in your headaches, or consistently showing up in your ability to not feel your best. Right? Our body language series can and will give you the tools and the skill sets necessary to be able to understand what your body is actually telling you. And it's only going to cost you $9.99. And here's the deal. I have something even better for you. I decided as a gift that I'm actually going to give you our Emotional Breakthrough Series for free with that, which is a $497 program. Now, here's the deal. The reason why I'm doing this is super important. It's very important when you understand body language and you understand what your body's actually saying. That's part of it. Then you get to understand what language commands I need to resolve it. Like a lot of times you may hear me say something like, I give myself permission to do blank, 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 and blank. Okay? When I say I give myself permission, I'm getting my ego out of the way. And unless I use certain language commands, I'm not able to embed the commands in my subconscious body to allow my body to relax them. The language commands are dramatic. They're crucial. That's the only way you're going to be able to reshape your experience, is by using the information necessary to be able to put those two together. That's why I decided to give you that one for free. Here's how you take advantage of it. You either A, are going to go to the link that's on my page, or you're going to message me and I will get you set up myself. Here's the second thing. I've got some more bonuses for you. With both of those bonuses, I'm going to get you both audio series, which is a $97 value a piece. I'm going to give you those for free. So you're going to have the audio series for both of those included with that, and I'm not done yet. Two more. I'm also going to get you added to our closed Facebook group. This is so you have an added community of people just like yourself. Many of our community members are on here now. It is an amazing group of people with amazing hearts and amazing people who really love to connect and really give a rat's genius about helping you out and about being their best. So you're actually going to be added and plugged into our community as soon as we get you set up. The second or the fourth thing you're going to get is you and I are actually going to get to have a phone call, which means I'm going to help you solve some problems for you. So as part of your bonuses, as part of your gift, I'm going to have a phone call with you on myself. That's $1,000 value. So literally you probably have at least $3,000 worth of free bonuses right there. So I figured I would sweeten it up because my outcome is for you to thrive no matter what. And in order for you to do that, you need to have the skill sets necessary to be able to do that. If you would like to take advantage of that, just message me and I'll get you hooked up and we'll get you set up and I'll have your programs probably tonight to you. So let's keep going. Okay, for those of you just joining in, make sure you share this if you have not. If you're looking to get connected with us, go up there and make sure you're on our email list. Hey mom, that way you can have our notes. Right now we're going to talk about rapport, meaning how can I create rapport as fast as possible with people that are in my life? My business partners, my family, my husband, my wife, my kids. Like, what can I do specifically to help with that? And that's what we're going to talk about right now, all right? Second thing is third thing you got is we're going to talk about emotional literacy. 4, we're going to talk about sleep. 5, we're going to talk about headaches. 6, we're going to talk about foot patterns. And 7, we're going to talk about conscious communications. Make sure you plug into the rest of our trainings Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And let's go ahead and start. So right now we're going to talk about is body awareness, okay? And we're going to talk about why you are on my left side and not my right. You'll find if I were to switch my phones over here on this side, you would find that there's a much different dynamics and much different energy about our conversation, okay? Here's the thing. Your left ear, just like the left side of your body, is your receiving side. That's your emotional side or your feminine side. What does that mean? That means that whenever you're on the left-hand side, that you are receiving information, you're not trying to fix it or not trying to solve it. Okay? Very important. Here's what I would like for you to try right now. Let's have some fun. So for those of you that are holding your phone, hold your phone in your right hand. I'm going to continue talking, and you're going to tell me if you feel anything different. For example, if you feel anything different in the sense that if you feel more antsy, the best way I can tell you is this. If someone's talking to me and I'm holding the phone in my right hand or I'm facing them with my right side, I'm trying to solve their problem for them already. Or I'm trying to fix it. Or I'm thinking about ways to take action versus being fully present. All right? This doesn't matter whether you're on the phone with someone in Anchorage, Alaska, or someone standing in front of you. This still applies. Okay? Left side. Now, if you switch, you go back to your left side. Now, if I'm on my left side, all I'm doing is thinking about being fully present and just listening to their information, listening to their questions. Okay? Just listening to their questions, not trying to solve them, not trying to fix them, not trying to jump ahead, none of that stuff. All right? Now, if for those of you that are playing along, did you feel a difference switching from your left side to your right side? Anything different? Because I can tell you the reason why I have y'all on my left side is because this is my receiving side. I am inviting you into my space. A lot of times if you're connected with me face to face, which some of you will, and at some point hopefully we'll get to connect with all of you face to face. If that's the case, you'll find that a lot of times I will adjust my body position, just getting more comfortable and just being able to really create more rapport and create more connection to allow us to feel more connected is really my goal. So a lot of times during conversation, I will switch my body around to what feels more comfortable. Typically, it's going to be with you on my left side. I may shoot videos in the grocery store with my left hand. I may shoot videos in the grocery store with my right hand. All right? Okay? Now, I can tell you that of all the high-level people that I get to support and helping the best people be even better, I can tell you that this little tool right here was one of the best ways that I've had feedback on people really feeling like they were able to connect better with their clients, with their spouse, all of that stuff. And what I'm really sharing with you right now is some extremely high-level information. And our body language program is stacked with this stuff. And a lot of times it only takes one little tool or one little tactic for you to shift before you really start noticing a massive difference. Even if you just start with this thing alone and you start with the listening to your left side, or when you're having a discussion with your partner, you put them on your left side, pay attention to how you feel in the conversation. I can tell you if I have any discussions around my home front, I put Penny O'Reilly on my left-hand side intentionally, because this allows me to be more present. It allows me to be less abrasive if I'm going to be, and I'm not perfect. It allows me just to be more free-flowing in the conversation. So if anything, and you walk away tonight, remember this. Use your yeses and nos as your communication, and use your left ear to listen, to connect. Use your body position when you're talking to people. Use your left side to connect. All right? Now, here's something else. And we're only going to go for about another minute or two. Hey, Lori. So, we are transceivers, which means that pay attention to how your body feels when you're talking to people. Your body is going to pick up on other people's energies. When I'm talking to clients, or maybe even talking to some of y'all on the phone, I can feel my body responding to energies, which means I may feel my chest get tight, which is, so for those of you know, let's review for a second. If your stomach gets tight, that's where fear shows up. If your chest and your throat gets tight, that's where sorrow shows up. If your back and your neck gets tight, that's where anger shows up. Why is that important? It's important because when you understand your body language, you're not reacting to life. You're able to shift and to be authentic and to be in your current reality. So therefore you can change what it is that you are experiencing rather than just rather than cause and effect. You are causing an effect. Big difference. And you can't cause an effect being in reactivity. It's only going to come from being response able, or having a response ability. The only way you can do that is to be truly aware of what you actually feel. Would you agree? Of course. The only way you can actually respond to it is by simply being aware of what's actually going on. All right? Now, I'm going to share one story with you, then we'll be done for right now. One of my coaches, the first time I saw this being done, we were in the class and he was showing us some stuff, and he had this lady sit to his left. So he looks over at the lady, she's sitting in the chair, we're all sitting around. He goes, "Hey, how old are you?" And she looked up and she goes, "I'm not telling you." He's like, "Okay, perfect." So he goes, "All right, now come over here and sit on your right-hand side." Now she's on his right-hand side. He looks at her again and he goes, "How old are you?" You should see her face. She straightens up, she looks at him, and she goes, "I feel like I have to tell you." She kind of does, because she's in an inferior position. Energetically, she is in an inferior position because she's off his right. This is his dominant side. This is his masculine side. Okay? So he was in the more dominant position. So my challenge to you is this, and you've already made a conscious commitment before you got here, unknowingly, that you would not use this to create unfair advantages for yourself or any people in your family or those that you're in a relationship with. So you have already unconsciously agreed before getting on my call that you would use this stuff in a fair and productive manner to create a win-win for you and whomever you may be using body language with. With that in mind, enjoy yourself right now. We're going to call it right now. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, so go ahead and go back through this, because the reason why I'm cutting it off 30 minutes because I'm not going to go a full hour, because it's a lot of information for you. If you take away the 3 things I discussed tonight, your life will change, hands down. If you're really serious about making massive changes in your life quick, then message me and let's get you set up in our body language series, because I assure you that will happen. It's just having the right skill sets, being plugged into our environment with our community, and having the right tools and accountability and support, of which we will help you with all of them. So have an amazing night. Message me for more information. I will be glad to get you set up and get you your free bonuses as well as your free Emotional Breakthrough Series program, which is a steal in itself. You've got easily $3,000 worth of free bonuses for your tuition investment. So I'll talk to you soon. Have an amazing day. Remember, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. What's up, Tiff?